Hi guys, welcome to I'm Judging. We're going over episode 8 of season 7 for Real Housewives of Potomac, Queen versus Queen. Very juicy episode. I'm ready to go over this. Let's jump right into it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. So in the first scene, they jump out the gate, kind of rehashing how the night before ended. Their first night in Miami ended with Mia being separated from Wendy. And you see the girls at the table talking with Mia being in the car. And I think Wendy is somewhere sitting in on the staircase somewhere out. But Giselle is pretty much saying they both were wrong. But Karen goes to check on Mia in the car. And in so many words, she comes out the gate at Karen and says, "You didn't have my back." And so Karen is telling her, you both were wrong. And I think that is the theme here. They both were wrong, but neither one of them see themselves as wrong. And so therefore, you have these innocent bystanders who are being attacked, when in reality, you need to be held accountable for your own action. Karen points out that Mia brought Charisse on a trip. And she knows she doesn't like Charisse. So she's saying, you want me to have your back, but yet you're bringing people who are frenemies to me around me. You don't get that type of blind loyalty. So Robin tells Karen that she should have tried to diffuse the situation once Karen goes back to her seat at the table. Karen was saying, girl, I was caught in the middle, pretty much I'm trying to save myself because I don't fight. And Wendy is now in the scene with Ashley as Ashley's trying to, just check on her, make sure she's good. And she says that she feels like Mia should go home because she said Mia committed assault in regards to both the drink and especially the purse. And Ashley's like, yeah, I saw her try to hit you with the purse or hit you with the purse. I'm not sure if it made contact or not, but yeah, in so many words, that was the goal though. Wendy said she didn't do anything wrong, which to me is a red flag right there. You didn't do anything physical to Mia is what you should state. Not that you didn't do anything wrong. So Jacqueline and Giselle both state in the separate car with Mia, Robin, that Karen was the only person who could have diffused the situation. So here we have it again, where nobody is taking responsibility for their actions. Mia feels like Karen should have defended her husband. That is crazy to me. In a heated moment such as that, when you're both wrong, it's too much to unravel for Karen to jump in and say, no, that's not true about G. I know him to be my friend, da 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 da. No. Karen is not your mom in real life. Yes, she's older than most of the women there, but I don't think it's fair to put this weight on Karen when you are a fully grown functioning woman. Remember, you're a boss. So why is it Karen's fault to defend your husband? Girl, bye. They all arrive back home in their separate vehicles. And Candace still hasn't arrived. Robin asks, hey, where's Candace? And Giselle, I guess being tired from everything, or maybe she just really doesn't care. She was just like, Candace is the farthest thing from my mind, which I get. It was a long night, y'all. And this was the first night, meaning they just flew in and had to deal with all that nonsense. And it's time to go to bed. That's a lot. It's a lot. So Jacqueline said in the group setting with the girls, with both Robin and Giselle, she says, I feel like Wendy, because she's a professor, she's used to having the floor where people have to listen to her talk. And with Mia being a boss or CEO, I can't remember which one she called her, but she was saying no one telling her no. And so she said with those two types of women, both used to being in charge, you're going to have this type of explosion. What do you all think about that? Do you think that's realistic? Do you think that two women can't be bosses and have a productive conversation? After the group session closes with Giselle asking Charisse, is Wendy going home? Like, what's happening? And Charisse is pretty much saying she doesn't know what's going on. So Candace finally arrives. But then we see Ashley go to Wendy's room. Robin gives her the rundown as to what happened and shows her the video on her phone. Carry the bags. And apparently she goes into detail about so Candace finally arrives. What happened, and she starts justifying. Robin gives her the rundown as to what happened and shows her the video on her phone. And apparently she goes into detail about what happened, and she starts justifying Mia's action. In turn, upset Candace, because Candace is having flashbacks in so many words when she's talking to Ashley and Karen alone, that nobody is caring that Wendy is not there. And she's saying you can't just do whatever you want to do to people because they're cutting, because you can't use your words. And again, like I said, I feel like Wendy and Candace are one and the same. And throw in a little bit of Ashley, because all three of them have really, really smart mouths and they can cut you with their words. And if you're not prepared for it, you will attack, I guess, is what keeps happening to those three ladies, or what has happened. That seems to be the pattern. They cut with the words, and if you can't handle it or you can't come with a quick comeback, boom, they get hit, grabbed, thrown, whatever the thing is, with some object. And it's ironic because Candace has been on both ends. We saw her with the knife situation when it came to Ashley. Now, granted, Ashley was wrong for walking back up in that woman's house after she told her to leave. But it's so many facets to this. I feel like everybody is talking from their own perspective. Robin doesn't like Wendy because she already had that altercation or that interaction with Wendy where Wendy was like, Robin, stand up and say what you got to say. And then when Robin stood up, and then she was like, Robin, sit down. You know, like, so it's crazy. These people are all over the place, but they're all seeing it from their perspectives. And I think that's what everybody's forgetting, is everybody has their own relationship with Wendy, their own interactions that have gone awry with Wendy. So that is why I feel like there's a common census of we don't care, she's not here, we're gonna have fun now. We ain't got to worry about the professor with 3 degrees, and 9 times out of 10 everybody only has 1 or 0, which it should be neither here nor there. But of course Wendy made it a big to-do upon her entrance onto this show. Mia makes the announcement that they're going to go to another beach, and at that beach they're going to have, more like a party and beach celebration for Karen's birthday. It seems like everything's going well. Wendy has not left, is what we find out. Wendy is actually in another hotel, and Mia canceled her flight. Her sister Jackie, and I'm going to say sister in quotes because of the clip we saw where Robin is going to dig into it, and we'll find out. Her sister Jackie says that she will not allow anybody to let Wendy come back. So yeah, that's where we're at. I feel like Candace is right. People should care, and you shouldn't be able to just do whatever you want, hit somebody with a purse or throw a drink at them because they said something you didn't like. But at the same time, you can't just say whatever you want to people and expect them to not have a reaction, because people are human and they're limited in their capabilities to have self-control. Everybody has a limit. So Ashley calls Wendy on FaceTime, and she just lets her know that, she's checking on her. And apparently Wendy confides in Ashley that she's been crying all night about the situation. And then she shows that, in real time, Candace is crying about the situation. Karen jumps in and says, hey, I want you to come to the beach because the beach is neutral ground. It's my birthday, and that's how I want to celebrate my birthday, with all of my girls. So Karen goes and does the adult thing and lets Mia know, I invited Wendy to come to the beach. Are you okay with that? Now, of course, she didn't ask her, are you okay with it, and then invite her, but whatever. I'm with it. So now I'm going to tell you, I'm proud of Mia for doing that, because Mia could have very well sunk even lower and been like, yeah, it's okay, bring her. And then as soon as she came, Wendy got jumped. But she told her, she said, I don't think I have enough self-control. When I see her, it's still going to be a problem. It's too soon. And there's people who are supporting Wendy over what she said. Karen says to her, listen, it was not right, the things that Wendy said to you. And it also isn't right that you threw a drink at her. Neither one of you all are right. And she was like, I'm just trying to facilitate a bridge. But I'm with Mia on this one. It's too soon. It just happened. Like day one, it happened for them to get into this altercation. It's crazy. I like that Giselle and Cherie stood up to Mia and told her pretty much like, girl, you're being extra petty, because Mia at this point has already told Ashley and Candace that they can no longer stay at the house because they didn't come to her like Karen did. Now, what I will say is, because she did this, it does seem like Ashley and Candace have formed some sort of unspoken bond. Like, we friends, but we not friends. But right now they're bonding together on account of their stance on how Wendy's being treated, which I think is beautiful. It's good to see peace between those two. Cherie sends a text after they ask Mia to do it. And Mia lets them know that, on account of her trauma, that's just how she copes with things, is she cuts people off. People are dead to her if they talk about her family and things of that nature. And it makes sense. Again, this is all about the perspective or the perception that people are seeing from where they stand. And we all know that Mia has had like a troubled childhood, and that's not to say nobody else has, but this is how she deals with it, and it's not a healthy way, and she admits that, which is great. So Sharice jumps the gun and sends out the message, and it's like, pretty much, y'all, we're gonna have a good time, smooches, in so many words. I don't know exactly what she said. I'm not going to reread that. The other girls are at this Cuban restaurant, and they seem to look good together. Like, it's a good vibe, which is great, considering what we just saw from the night before. Candace invites Wendy to go with her for Trina because she has a song on her new CD or her re-release album with Trina. Wendy's like, yeah, I'll go. And so that's great. It makes Karen happy that Wendy's doing something positive and not just sitting around moping while she's in Miami. Then Ashley and Karen decide to go back to the house. On the other side, you have the other girls, Robin, Giselle, Mia, Jacqueline, and Sharice at the beach chilling. The man comes and brings them tequila shots. That makes them feel extra good. And then Giselle does her famous twerk or non-twerk. And so that's cute. Mia starts dancing and, all suggestively. Whereas Shady Robin, notices there's no lump on Mia's butt. They do the flashback because that's what Mia said. I have a lump on my butt. So it kind of further confirms that Mia is trying to have a storyline. Or like Robin said, it disappeared very fast. That lump it came and it went so fast, which is a good thing. So that's what had happened. They have a very different relationship, Jackie and Mia. Again, to them and their relationship when it comes to men and their bodies. Giselle called out, she saw the two of them in the shower together. Robin asked them, do you all have sex with each other? And they were like, no, in so many words. But pretty much they are each other's ride or die. And Mia's like, if I'm doing good, she's doing good, which is, I guess, kind of a healthy bond. I don't know. But it's good for Mia to have some sort of stability or feel like she has stability with person that's a woman, considering her relationship with her mother. Going back to the beach, the ladies see a group of young guys and they ask them to take a picture. Now, was it me? Or were you not surprised to see Robin Dixon rubbing on that little boy's arm? He said he wasn't 30. I think he said so he's obviously 20 something. But I was like, Robin, you do know Juan's going to see this, right? I guess she don't care. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors, y'all, but just FYI, that did happen. I got a little nervous when Candace met with Trina and started kind of doing a verbal vomit of what she was going through. I guess it was just nerves. But I'm glad she didn't tell all the business, and I'm glad she didn't fully cry. And this was the first time I think I have ever seen her in RHOP history not have a folded napkin ready to catch that teardrop. But either way, I thought it was ironic that the song sounded like it could very much be the soundtrack for these last two episodes, episode 7 and episode 8, in regards to insecurities, which is why I feel like both of these ladies acted the way that they did. Either way, it was a gorgeous song. Trina did an excellent job. Trina was very nice and pleasant. I've heard mixed reviews about her, but I was glad to see that she was who I thought she would be. She was very supportive and gave her industry advice about keeping positive people around her and things of that nature. So that was really sweet of her. So it was a good vibe, and I'm glad that Wendy and Candace were able to bond over that. So Mia lets Karen know that she's not throwing her a birthday party because she felt like Karen picked a side by going to spend time and check on Wendy while they were all out on the beach in their cabana. And Karen lets her know, listen, I had my cake and candle and my husband sent me flowers, and that's enough of a birthday for me. This blind loyalty. And again, this has got to be part of her trauma, where she believes that either you're on one side or the other, because any quote unquote balanced, healed person would know that there are multiple sides to everything. It's a shade of gray. It's shades of gray. There's no black and white in any circumstance, especially when it comes to people. And so unfortunately, Mia has a very childish stance on, either you're on my side or you're not. And I get it, but you have to outgrow that. And it's a little scary because what are you teaching your children? Is what I think of when an adult carries themselves in that manner. Sister kind of is like, okay, so I guess y'all aren't friends. After Mia told Karen, as Karen was walking out, that go ahead and defend Wendy, but Wendy's going to have it coming for you too. But, Wendy and Karen already had their differences in the beginning, and it really wasn't, they had their differences in the beginning. Karen, it took her a while which is why I'm not understanding why she's not grasping that it's going to take Mia and Wendy a while, if ever, to reconcile. I don't think they need to. I'm one of those people, you don't have to be friends. You let me know. What do you think? Do you think that Karen was right in trying to get these girls to get it together on the second day after they just had the incident that they had the day before? Was it too soon, like Mia said? How do you feel about what Robin said with Mia's butt not having any lump? So many questions. Do you think Peter really had an issue with Mia and Peter really aren't as close as Mia was making it seem? Or do you think Wendy was just trying to have some salt? She had a captive audience. What do you think about Jacqueline's observation about Wendy being a professor and always being able to have the floor, and Mia being the CEO where everybody has to listen to her? And so when you have these two types of women to come together, there's going to be an explosion because it's a balance of power that they aren't able to do. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you, this episode sped everything up very fast. From the first scene to the end, I enjoyed it. It was very entertaining. Unlike last episode where it was kind of a slow draw and then it picked up, I really enjoyed this one.